Okay, so hi everyone, we are back and we are going to continue by discussing the platinum paper, okay, the paper 2 platinum. This is the last class in the AdMed series, and we will have one more class for physics lah, okay, unless there's a request lah for another class. Okay, so let's get down to it. So this is platinum paper 2, section A. So given that fx equals to 5x minus 3, and gx is x over 2 minus 7. Okay, pretty straightforward. Find the inverse function of x. Okay, so don't forget, whenever you want to find the inverse function, take the original function. Okay, so you do 5x minus 3 equals to y, and then you pindah-pindah so that you get x equals to yada yada lah. So you get this. Okay, all you need to do is you will get x equals to y plus 3 over 5. So the last step is the inverse function of x. Just change this y to become x. Okay, so you get x plus 3 over 5. Then, this one lah. Okay, now don't forget now that if let's say kamu sudah mencari the function, okay, and then ada pembawa bahkan there is a denominator over there. The denominator, if there's an x there, you need to make sure that you qualify. Okay, for example, let's say inverse, the function of x is x plus 3 over 5x. Okay, you need to write x tidak boleh sama dengan sifar. Okay, so how do you do this? You just write down here the whole thing sebenarnya 5x tidak boleh sama dengan sifar. So x tidak boleh sama dengan sifar lah. Okay, kalau kau pindah 5 pergi sebelah begitu. Okay, in the same way, let's say this is fx equals to x plus 3 over 5 plus x. Okay, so kamu tulis di tepi lah. Okay, saya tahu di bawah dia tidak boleh sama dengan kosong. So 5 plus x cannot be the same as 0. X tidak boleh sama dengan negative 5. Then you write down here. Okay, just remember that if there is a function that there's a denominator where there is an x, you need to write the nilai-nilai yang tidak boleh, x tidak boleh jadi nilai tersebut lah. Okay, so that your answer is complete. Okay, so don't forget that. All right, next is they give you the composite function. Okay, oh sorry, they ask you to combine the two lah. So once you get this, okay, so f negative 1, gx, I'm going to substitute gx inside x over 2 minus 7. So you substitute it in here, so you get x over 2 minus 7 plus 3 the whole thing minus 5. Okay, just be careful with this a little bit. Okay, sebab dia ada pecahan lagi kan. Okay, so but you do, then you get x minus 8 over 10. This is not too difficult for this one. Okay, lastly, hx such that hgx, so you're given hgx equals to 2x minus 6. Okay, the only thing you can do is you put gx inside lah. Okay, so you get h x over 2 minus 7. Okay, equals to 2x minus 6. Now this is the case where you have to do a little bit of extra work lah. Okay, so you do u equals to x over 2 minus 7. So u plus 7 equals to x over 2. So x equals to 2u plus 14. Okay, then you substitute this in here and you substitute this in here. So you get hu equals to 2u plus 14 minus 6. Okay, this is a very standard step lah. Okay, so so don't forget this. Then all you need to do is just simplify this and then change the letter u to letter x, and you will get this lah. 4x equals 4x plus 22. So there's nothing really much to this. I don't think it's very difficult. Okay, it's just that of course kamu mesti tahu lah. Okay, you have to know the steps to answer this question. Okay, otherwise, yeah, if you don't know, so it doesn't help lah. Okay, so you have to know. Okay, I think in the goal paper we did discuss about the other one. Dia bagi yang di luar, dia suruh kamu cari yang di dalam. Okay, and that one is easier to do lah. Okay, there is less steps. Usually that one is just a 2-mark question, sometimes even 1 mark. Okay, because the steps are very simple. This one, dia bagi yang di dalam, dia suruh kamu cari yang di luar. Okay, this is dalam lah. Okay, this is inside. They ask you to find the outside function. Okay, this one involves this step. kamu kena kasih U equals to yada yada yada, and then change it over so that you can get the answer lah. Okay, so don't forget that. All right, number 2, given that yada 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 has 2 equal roots. Okay, 2 equal roots means b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Okay, so we have our a over here. A is 1. This is our b, and this whole thing is the c lah. Okay, so you get q plus 2 the whole thing squared. Okay, minus 4 times 1 times 6 minus q equals to 0. Okay, then solve and you will get these two answers now. Q equals to 2 and Q equals to negative 10. So this solving, and since there is a squared over here, will probably involve EQN or factorization. I think it will definitely be factorization since the answer looks so simple. Okay, but you kind of want to do this because it's an easy question. You just need to know 2 equal roots means b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Okay. B express fx equals to 2x squared minus, okay, so fx equals to 2x squared minus 9x minus 5 in the form of this. So you have to do completing the square. Okay, now don't forget now, if you're going to complete the square, you need to make sure that these two is factorized out first. Okay, don't immediately jump into the setengah, the perkali x lah, don't. So when you factorize the 2 out, you will get x squared minus, okay, this is the one that you want to complete the square. Okay, minus 5 over 2. Okay, so this 9 over 2, sorry, negative 9 over 2 lah, okay, is the one that you want to complete the square. So 2x squared minus 9 over 2x. Okay, then you plus negative 9 over 4 squared minus negative 9 over 4 squared. Okay, how do I get this? This one. So negative 9 over 2 divide by 2. Okay, I'll get negative 9 over 4. Then all I need to do is just square. Okay, a few things that you should avoid lah. Number 1, don't forget to factorize this one out. Okay, completing the square, the x squared must be 1, 1, no choice. Secondly, there is a negative sign in front here. So don't forget to bring the negative sign with you. These are very common mistakes which people will make because they know that, okay, completing the square is half of the x punya nombor. Okay, so they just take the number and they forget to take the sign, number 1. And then number 2, they forget to factorize the a out. The a cannot be involved in this until the last minute. Okay, minus 5 over 2, and then you get this up. Then what will happen is these two will sandwich. Okay, so we will get 2x minus 9 over 4 the whole thing squared minus, okay, then what you will do is you will get 121 over 16 lah. Okay, this one, this whole thing will give you 121 over 16 lah. Okay, so I'm not going to waste time there. What you need to do after that is you need to multiply the whole thing in. Okay, so you get 2 and then x minus 9 over 4 squared minus 121 over 8. So that will tell you that the minimum point, this is a minimum point, okay, of this graph. Means you get a graph shape like this. Okay, the minimum point is 9 over 4 and negative 121 over 8. Okay, that I think is a very important point. Okay, sorry, that negative 121 over 8 lah. Okay, that I think is a very important point. Just don't be afraid that you are so weird or this. Okay, memang betul lah, macam mana lagi kan. Okay, but that's not the end of the question. The question is asking you to sketch the graph. Okay, now I've mentioned this before. When you sketch the graph, you need 3 points. Okay, and the good news is you already have 1 from here. Okay, so you only need 2 more, and I suggest that you use these two lah, negative 2 and 6. Okay, substitute into here, and you should be able to get the 2 points. Okay, so what will happen is when you get negative 2, okay, so the equation is 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. Okay, fx equals to 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. So we have 1 point already, which is 9 over 4 and -121 over 8. Okay, so the first thing is we need to find two other points. So you substitute x equals to -2 first. Okay, so x equals to -2, you get fx equals to 2 times -2 squared minus 9 times -2 minus 5. Okay, so you will get, you will get about 21. Okay, so let's say lah, okay, let's say I draw this lah, -2. 9 over 4 is 2.25. Okay, so something like this time maybe. Okay, so let's say this is -2 lah. -2. I know that here is 21. Okay. Now, then the second one is we have fx equals to 6. Okay, so when fx equals to 6, sorry, when x equals to 6, okay, you get fx equals to 2 times 6 squared minus 9 times 6 minus 5. Okay, so 2 times 6 times 6 minus 54 minus 5. Okay, you get about 13. Okay, so you put the 13 about here lah. Okay, sini 13. And then sini adalah 6. Okay, then you can rub the rest off. The rest is unnecessary now lah. Okay, sampai sini saja. Okay. All I need to just see, all I need to see, okay, is 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That will be considered a complete graph sketch already. Okay. So it really depends on the question lah. Okay. If the question give you the range, katakan dia bagi range macam ni kan, -2 until 6, okay, then the 3 points that you need are the minimum point, -2 and then 6. But sometimes, sometimes the graph, they will say, hence sketch the graph for fx. Tapi dia tidak bagi this one. Okay, they don't give you this thing. So what you do is you need to factorize lah. You need to factorize or find the y-intercept lah. Okay, x equals to 0 and then y equals to 0. But the best is to, because if you want 3 points straight, right? Okay, it is best to factorize lah. Okay, so let's say dia tidak bagi ini. Okay, let's say they never give this. So we only have to sketch the graph, and I don't know what is my 2 points lah. So what I can do is I can factorize it. Okay, so fx equals to 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. Okay, so when fx equals to 0, that's factorizing. When you EQN it, okay, to -9, -5. Okay, you will get x equals to 5 and -½ So these are your 3 points already. Okay, you get 5 and 0, and the other one is -½ and 0. So you can, same thing like you draw your graph. Okay, so sini adalah 5. Okay, and then sini adalah -½ contohnya. Okay, so you know that this, and then of course in the middle is this lah, 9 over 4, and this one. Okay, 9 over 4. So 9 over 4, let's say it's somewhere here lah. Okay, so you can draw already like that, and then all you have to do is just mark out this point lah, 9 over 4 and -121 over 8. Okay, so it really depends on how the question is worded. If they give you the domain, then you use the domain to find 2 other points. But if they don't give you the domain, you need to factorize it. Okay, you need to factorize it, find the 2x points so that you can still show me 3 points. Okay, the most important thing about sketching the graph for quadratic functions is that you must have at least 3 points. Okay, in order for your answer to become valid. 2 points cannot. 2 points if it is a straight line, then you can do 2 points. Tapi curve mesti 3 points. Okay, so it's either the minimum point and the 2 domains, or the minimum point and the 2 factorizations. If you want to do all 5, if you're so rajin lah, okay, fine, you want to do all 5 also can. This is -½ bahkan, and this is 5. Pun boleh lah, you can do all 5 points lah. Okay, but essentially you're wasting time because you only need 3 points in order for the graph to be valid. Okay, so read the question properly. If they give you the domain, use the domain. If they're not, then you use the factorization. Okay, number 3, diagram 1 shows a straight line PR which is perpendicularly intersects the straight line QS. Again, the word perpendicularly, so this is 90. So you know that M1, M2 equals to -1. You need to think about it lah. Okay, so write the equation of the straight line PR in intercept form. Okay, intercept form is x over a plus y over b equals to 1. This is a format, okay, di mana a adalah, this is the x-intercept and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so we know that this is b, okay, and this is a. That's why the answer is x over 12 plus y over 7 equals to 1. This is a 1-mark question. Dia memang tahap pengetahuan saja. It's either you know or you don't know. Okay, so be very careful with this. Remember, there are 3 forms altogether. There's the intercept form, which is this. The second one is the gradient form, y equals to mx plus c. This is gradient form. Okay, and the third one is the least commonly asked, is the general form, ax plus by plus c equals to 0. This is the general form. Okay, this is the general form. So be very careful with this. Okay, given that 5pq equals to 3qr. Okay, so when we write this, 5pq equals to 3qr, let me rearrange. So pq over qr equals to 3 over 5. That means that pq is, sorry. Okay, that means that pq is 3 parts and qr is 5 parts. Okay, so all together there are 8 parts. Obviously, they're going to ask you to find the coordinate of q. This is the jumping formula. Okay, so this number times this, and then this number times this lah. Okay, much simpler this one, but you will get this lah, 9 over 2 and 35 over 8. Okay, so this coordinate here is 9 over 2 and 35 over 8. Okay, then after you want to find the coordinate of point S. Okay, in order to find the coordinate of point S, you need to find the equation of point of QS first. Okay, so find equation of QS. That's the important thing you need to find. Okay, so the good thing is you already have a point, which is 9 over 2 and 35 over 8. But you need to have the gradient, which you don't have the gradient. Okay, but you know that PR and QS are perpendicular. So you can use this. Okay, so that means you find the gradient of PR first. Okay, cari gradient of PR, this one. Okay, after that, then you use M1, M2 equals to -1 to find the gradient of QS. Okay, which is this one lah, because it's perpendicular ma. Okay, then use 9 over 2, sorry, and 35 over 8. The point, use the point Q, okay, and the gradient, okay, to form equation. Okay, so you will get the equation of QS, okay, about lah, okay, is y equals to 12 over 7x minus 187 over 56. Okay, you will get the equation 12 over 7x minus 187 over 56. Then you can find the point S. Okay, so point S is point S. Okay, use y equals to 0 to find x. So you get x is about this value lah, 187 over 96. So the coordinate is 187 over 96 and 0. Okay, so again, this paper, I think I know why the paper is generally easy lah. It's because the answers are very weird. Like this 187 over 96 kan. Siapa-siapa yang buatkan dia akan terus dia ragu-ragu because saya tak tahu jawapan saya betul atau tidak. So weird the number. Okay, again, the same advice that I gave you the last time. Even if you have done the question and the answer is a very weird answer, leave it alone and move on to the next question. Okay, Remember that there are more marks for the working than there is marks for the answer. Don't be obsessed with getting a perfect answer. Okay, because this paper, and again lah, if you can see B also sangat pelik, C also sangat pelik. And if you're the kind of person that is so stuck, saya punya jawapan kan mesti cantik itu, like 5-0. Baru saya tahu bahawa jawapan saya adalah betul. No such thing. Okay, so if you are confident, if you have already done the steps, okay, don't worry if your answer is wrong or if you are doubtful of your answer. Okay, most likely your answer, even if your answer is wrong, it's just 1 mark kamu tolak lah. Daripada kau padam semua dan kamu buat semua balik, what does that give you? That gives you less time to do other questions. Okay, so learn to move on. You finish one thing already, even if it is not right, okay, learn to move on to the next question. Finish the paper first, and then when you check again, then you know, okay, maybe di sini saya ada buat silap. Come back to the question again later. Okay, of course, you shouldn't be sleeping during the admits exam lah. Okay, but if you're the kind of person, okay, saya sudah habis, maka saya tidur, then macam mana saya membebel pun, it will not help you lah. Okay, but learn to do this lah. Okay, even if the answer is weird, move on and answer other questions first. You want to finish the paper first before you go and check again. Okay, never do a question and then check again, baru kamu move on to the next question. Itu yang akan menyebabkan kamu kehabisan masa. Okay, remember everybody, you need to answer 12 questions in 2.5 hours. So you got no time to recheck and redo and recheck and redo. Unless kamu memang target untuk menjawab 2 soalan sajalah. Okay, so you want to be able to answer 12 questions. So remember that. Learn to move on. Okay, area of the right angle triangle is the same as the area of the square. This is very, very straightforward lah. Okay, so area of the right angle triangle is 1/2 times 2x plus 1 times 2 to the power x minus 2. Okay, oh, sorry, equals to the area of the square. So 2 astaga, x minus 3 squared, and then the whole thing squared. So, panjang darab lebar lah kan? Okay, so I've got nothing better to do, but okay, fine, you can also do that lah. Okay, now, of course, the most important thing that you need to remember about this, okay, is that this one is not square of the square, is kamu darab. Okay, so this will give you 2, this is x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, then the whole thing is times 2. Just darab 2 saja. So you get 2 to the power of 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. Don't make your life difficult. It's not very difficult. It's not square of the square. It's just, you know, yeah, the same level. So you just times 2 times 2. Okay, secondly, this one is actually 2 to the power of negative 1. Okay, so when you combine all together, 2x minus 2 bahkan semua darab. Remember, a to the power n times a to the power n equals to a to the power m plus n. So it's 2 to the power negative 1 plus x plus 1 plus 2x minus 2. Okay, that's why we change the correct. That's why we change this half to become 2 to the power negative 1, so that I can bring it all together. Okay, so the one thing that you don't want to do is to bring the half across, terus dia jadi darab 2. Boleh juga lah, okay, but it will make your life much more complicated. Okay, then all you need to do is just solve this, and since there's an x squared there, it will definitely involve a factorization. Okay, kalau bukan factorization, you can always use the formula or EQN, but either way you will get x equals to 2 and x equals to 5. Okay, this is not a very difficult question. Of course, you need to know the area of the triangle and the area of the square lah. This one, no formula book will give you one. You're expected to know this. Okay, yes. Before I forget, before you go into the exam room, okay, make sure that you have all these very basic formulas in hand lah. Okay, area of triangle, area of circle, area of square, volume of cone, volume of cylinder, jumlah luas permukaan. Yes, and volume of sphere. Okay, so all these basic volume formulas and area formulas, you should already know this by heart. Okay, there's no formula book. If you forget, you forget. Okay, so you need to remember all these very basic formulas. Okay, number 5. A cuboid shaped paper box has a length of, okay, let's draw this. So this is a cuboid shaped paper box. Okay, you have a length of 2x minus 1, a width of y, and a height of 2y. Okay, let me draw this completely. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4 is 2x minus 1. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 is y, and then of course 1, 2, 3, 4 is 2y. Okay, so if the total length of all the edges, which means 4 times 2x minus 1 plus 4 times 2y plus 4 times y is equals to 52. First equation, or this is a simultaneous equations questions. Okay, and the total surface area. Okay, so the total surface area is this one. This is the first one now. So 2 times 2x minus 1 times 2y. Okay, this is the first one. Plus the green color one is the top and the bottom here lah. Okay, which is 2 times 2x minus 1 times y. Okay, and then plus the third one is the one at the side over here, 2y times y. So 2 times 2y times y equals to 100. Okay, so you have the first equation over here. Okay, and then this is the second equation. So find the values of x and y if x and y are integers. Okay, so what you expect to get now is when you solve these two, you will get same thing, 2 values of x and 2 values of y. Tapi notice the answer, there's only one set of values because there is a condition given over here. If x and y are integers. So you are going to get one set of values which are not integers. What are integers? Integers are nombor bulat lah. Okay, so pecahan itu semua bukan nombor integer. Okay, so you need to remember that there is one set of readings that you will have to write reject. Okay, just tulis reject saja. You don't really have to explain why lah, but we understand why. Okay, we understand why because it is not an integer. Remember, an integer is nombor bulat. Okay, no decimal, no fraction. Okay, all those are non-integers. So say for example, your answer is 3 over 2. This is not an integer because it is 3 over 2 is a fraction, or 1.5 is a decimal place, not an integer. Okay, so you want a nombor yang bulat. That's why the answer is only one set. Okay, so be aware of this, everybody. When the question gives you syarat-syarat, okay, you have to make sure that whatever that you're not accepting, you must write the word reject. Okay, to show that, oh, saya tidak akan guna jawapan ini, jawapan ini tidak memenuhi kehendak soalan. Soalan mau integer saja. So ini saya mesti tulis reject. Okay, what if you forget to write the words reject? Okay, sebab kamu terlampau kusyuk bahkan. You write all the answer, but you forget to reject one answer. For me, I will minus 1 mark because you're not answering the question. The question is not asking for all the values of x and y. The question is asking for the values of x and y that are integers. So by that definition, kamu tidak menjawab soalan dengan sepenuhnya. So you will not get full marks. I will only give you 6 out of 7 because you forgot to write the very important word, which is reject. Okay, so lesson number 2 of the day. Lesson number 1 is belajar untuk move on. Okay, lesson number 2, whatever that you don't need, okay, reject them from the paper and from your life. Okay, you don't need yeah, you don't need certain people in your life, so you can always reject them, especially if they're not helping you. Wow, life lesson betul. Okay, yeah, we need all these life lessons. Maths has the most life lessons. Kita belajar untuk move on, kita belajar untuk reject toxic people, just like we are rejecting these toxic answers lah. Wow. Okay. Number 6, given the first three positive terms of a geometric progression are 3x plus 6. So we have term 1, 2, and 3 over here. And since they are geometric progression, so you know that we want a common ratio. So in order to find the value of x, the second term over the first term must be equals to the third term over the second term. Okay. And again, everybody, when you do this, you are going to get two answers. You're going to get one positive value and one negative value. Okay, let me show you this. So this is x plus 2 times x plus 2 equals to 2x minus 6, 3x plus 6. Okay, so get x squared plus 4x plus 4. This will give you 6x squared minus 8. No, 18 minus 18. Oh, no, 12 minus 18. Minus 6x minus 36. Okay, so pindah across, you'll get 5x squared. Sorry. 5x squared. Oh yeah, okay. Minus 10x minus 40. Okay, so what I will get 5 minus 10 minus 40. Okay, I will get x equals to 4 and x equals to negative 2. Okay, and again, there is a condition given here, 3 positive terms. So the only way we're going to get positive term is if x equals to 4. So this one you will have to reject. Because x equals to negative 2 will give you a negative number lah. Okay, which we don't want lah. Okay, kita tidak mau case begitu. That's why the answer is only x equals to 4. Okay, so we make sure you write the word reject for the answer that you reject. Kalau ada syarat lah. Kalau tiada syarat, kita terima dua-dua. Okay, then after that, find the common ratio. Common ratio, you can just substitute the x in here or here. Okay, to find the common ratio, which is 1 over 3. Then the sum to infinity. Okay, sum to infinity is a over 1 minus r. We can find the value of a by substituting x equals to 4 lah. Okay, so 3 times 4 plus 6 is 18. Okay, so 18 over 1 minus 1 over 3. You should be able to get the answer 27. Okay, so again, not a very difficult question, except that remember, kalau ada jawapan yang kamu harus reject, make sure you write the words reject. Okay, it's a very simple word, reject. Bukan juga saya, I'm not even asking you for a reason. Okay, unless the question asks you for a reason why you have to reject it. Don't need to write, just write the word reject. People will understand, but you need to write the word reject. Kalau kau tidak tulis reject, people won't understand. Examiner won't understand. So you need to make sure you write it. Okay, question number 7. This is probably going to be the longest question in this paper today. So given that fx equals to this one, find f prime 0. F prime 0 is differentiation, not function. Okay, so we start with the function first. Fx equals to 3 minus x squared to the power of 3 over x plus 2. Okay, this is a case of y equals to u over v, then you dy. Okay, so the dy dx is v du dx minus u dv dx over v squared. Okay, I don't think there's a formula for this. I don't think so lah. Okay, you're supposed to know that this one. So, so how do we do this is, okay, we split them up lah. Okay, let's say this is u, this is v. So u equals to 3 minus x squared to the power of 3 and v equals to x plus 2. Okay, so what you will get over here is du dx, okay, is 3 minus x squared to the power of 2. sorry, to the power 2, then you times 3. Sebab ini 3 kena bawa ke depan. Okay, and then this dv dx will be equals to 1 lah. Okay, that one is kind of a no-brainer. Okay, so we substitute it in here. Okay, so the dy dx is equals to, okay, the first thing I write is the v squared, easiest one, x plus 2 squared. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, second one is v du dx. So this one times this one. Okay, so 3 times x plus 2 times 3 minus x squared to the power of 2. Oh, sorry. Astaga. I still have to differentiate inside pula kan. There's a negative 2x juga. Sorry. So there's a negative 2x over here. Yes, sorry. I forgot to differentiate the inside. I just differentiated the outside. Okay. And then this one is minus u, which is this one. 3 minus x squared to the power of 3 times 1. Okay, then after that you simplify this lah. Okay, simplify this and substitute x equals to 0. Okay, so f prime 0 is when x equals to 0, and that makes things a lot easier lah when x equals to 0. So you get the value is negative 27 over 4. Final answer. Okay, you get this negative 27 over 4. The difficult part about this question probably is the differentiation of this lah. Okay, especially if you have left the complicated differentiations, like in 2021 lah. Okay, literally 2021. Okay, if you have forgotten how to differentiate these complicated ones, then this question will probably be your weak point lah. Okay, so it may be a good idea for you to go and revise again how to differentiate this and y equals to u times v. Okay, macam mana kamu mau pisahkan dan gabungkan mereka balik. Okay, I really don't think that this formula, okay, this formula or this guide is given to you in the exam. Let me check. Yes, it's not given to you. Okay, sorry, it's not something that's very happy lah, but but it's definitely not given to you lah. Okay, so you want to make sure that you either know this or you are going to choose to not answer this question. So it's really up to you lah. If you don't want to answer this question, then I can't really help you much lah. Okay, but just to recap lah. Okay, if let's say it is y equals to u times v. Okay, for example y equals to 2x plus 2 to the power of 3 times x minus 4. Okay, contohnya this is u times v. Okay, the second type is y equals to u over v. Okay, sebagai contoh y equals to 2x plus 2 cubed over x minus 4. Okay, so if it is y equals to u times v, okay, then the dy dx, okay, will be u dv dx plus v du dx. Okay, manakala kalau dia adalah y equals to u over v, the dy dx will be, it starts with v first. Okay, because at the bottom is v squared. V du dx minus u dv dx. Kalau yang ini kamu campur aduk bahkan, means kalau letak v di depan dulu, v du dx plus u dv dx, no problem. But this one, you cannot mix it around because of the tanda tolak. Okay, so this is u, this is v, this is u, this is v lah. So you want to find du, right? So du will be equals to 3 times 2x plus 2 squared times 2. dv will be 1. Okay, macam tu. Then kamu darab silang. Okay, so this is very long, and we've covered this in a very long time ago lah. Okay, if you have the time, okay, I would actually suggest that you take some time, but don't spend too long on revising this lah. Okay, but please know this. This and this is not given to you in the exam. So it's either you know or you don't know. Okay, it's either you know or you don't know. So one of the things that that has changed, actually, you know what? Many people look at it as a change now. But actually, when I think about it, there's really no change, you know. All these kind of things is you must know one lah, you know, there's no formula book to help you one. So one of the biggest things that always makes admits especially more difficult is if the student is lazy to memorize formula. And I think that's the number one recipe for disaster lah. Okay, so if you're watching this video and you are a student that is about to take admits or next year is your SPM, my biggest advice to you is memorize the formulas. Okay, it's not that difficult to memorize the formulas. If you can memorize every single dance step lah, or you can memorize every single member of N hyphen's birthday or their spelling of their name, you can memorize formula. Okay, the only thing is whether you want to memorize them or not lah. Okay, tapi of course now we're talking to SPM students, so janganlah kita membebel lagi balik. Okay, hold on. Okay, for section B, section B, of course the first question is a linear law question. Okay, so this is quite simple. Construct a table for y over x and x. I think if you do it correctly and you plot it, you should be able to get a graph of something like this. Okay, where the y-intercept will be -4. Okay, about there lah. Okay, so when we take this equation, y equals to 3px squared plus q over px, and we want to change it to y over x. So we divide everything by x lor. So y over x equals to 3px plus q over p. This will tell us that this is my gradient and this is my y-intercept. So you can find p and q quite easily. Okay. Now y when x is equals to 4.4. Okay, so you find x equals to 4.4. Which I don't know where it is now. Okay, let's say it's somewhere here, 4.4. You do over here and then you do over here. Now remember that this value over here, okay, is y over x. Question is asking for y only, not y over x. Okay, so you want to use the graph. Let me see. Let me look at the answer. So you get y over x is about 2.6. Okay, you get y over x is equals to about lah. Okay, 2.6. This is the schema jawapan lah. For the marking scheme is y over x equals to 2.6. So remember that you want to find y. Okay, this value over here, you will get 2.6. Okay, this value. But remember that this is y over x, not y. Okay, so how do I find y? I substitute the x equals to 4.4. So y over 4.4 equals to 2.6. So you get y equals to 11.44. The one thing that you should not be doing, okay, and this is something that I always see in students, is that they use the equation to find the answer. Okay, you know why you cannot do this? Because the question says use your graph, not use the equation. If they want you to use the equation, they will say use the equation. But this is a linear law question, and your answers depend on the graph, not on the equation. Okay, I see this again and again in all the students because they don't know how to use the graph. So they think that if they use the equation and they get the correct answer, then their answer is correct lah. Your head, okay, if you get the right answer but you use the wrong method, you will only get 1 mark. Out of 6, you will only get 1 mark. Because you only give the right answer, you don't give the right method. So again, I'm emphasizing the point. The working is more important than the right answer. If you get the right answer but you use the wrong way, you might as well not have done the question. Okay, so and using the graph is actually much easier than using the equation. I don't know why people don't want to use the graph. Okay, saya geleng kepala ni. Those of you that have this habit of using the equation, please throw that habit away. It will, well, should I say this? It is a 99% certainty lah. Okay, saya tidak berani cakap 100% lah. But I am 99% certain that the question will ask you to use your graph, not use the equation. Okay, so in the exam, if you find yourself using the equation, listen to the sound of my voice. Your head, okay, it is not use the equation, use the graph. Okay, so please use the graph. Don't use the equation. Okay, number 9. Diagram 3 shows a parallelogram OABC. The point M lies on AB and the point K lies on BC. Okay, everything is given over there. Let's mark it down. OA is 10x. Okay, OC is 6y. CK and CB. Okay, CK and CB is 2 and 3. So this is 2. What? Okay, this is 1. Kan? Am I right? CK and CB is 2 and 3. So it means KB is 1 lah. Okay, let's not even think about we follow the information now. Okay. So weird. Okay. The length of BM is twice the length of AM. So BM adalah 2 kali AM. Okay, so BM over AM is 2 and 1. So this one makes sense lah. The CK and CB betul-betul, I don't know what's happening now. But let's just follow. Okay, remember, follow the information, don't follow the picture. Okay, so when you do this, you get OM. Okay, OM is OA plus AM lah. Okay, I'll give you this clue. OM is OA plus AM. So you find AM first. Obviously, you have to find AM first. Okay. AM is 1 over 3AB lah. Okay, so you get 10x plus 2y. Okay, secondly is AK. Let's see, AK, which is here. Okay, I guess the best way would be AK would be AB. Okay, because since this is a parallelogram, so AB will be also 6y lah. Okay, so that one is no problem. So AB plus BC. Okay, so BC is, sorry, BK. Okay, BK. Okay. Okay, sorry. I think there's a mistake in this question. This should be CK and KB. It really, I cannot. Yeah, this is 3 lah. Okay, I'm going to change this question now. So this is 2 and this is 3. Otherwise, the gambar raja will not make sense lah. Okay, so this is CK to KB. CK to KB is 2 to 3. Okay, we use this. And I think you should be able to get this answer. 6y minus 6x. Okay, secondly, using AL and OL. Okay, now when we do this question, there's only 2 situations. Number 1 is you have 2 of the same vectors, then you compare them. Number 2 is if you have 2 different vectors, for example, this one is AL and one is OL. Okay, so you want to make sure that somehow you add something so that the left and the right they have the same vector. Okay, and if we look at this one we want AL bahkan. So the best way is AO plus OL so that we can use the OL in here. So I can write down that AL equals to AO plus OL. Okay, and that will give me a chance for me to use both this one. So AL equals to HAK equals to, okay, AO is given, AO is negative 10x. Okay, x plus, okay, OL is KOM. KOM. And then I can substitute the AK and OM, which I found in question A. Okay, so, so HAK, H 6y minus 6x equals to negative 10x plus K, OM is 10x plus 2y. Okay, 10x plus 2y. Okay, and then this one will give me a chance to compare the left and the right side. Again, remember, there's no pindah-pindah, it's just comparing the left and the right side. Okay, so 6hy minus 6hx equals to, okay, I'm going to combine these two together. So negative 10 plus 10k, the whole thing x, plus 2ky. Okay, Okay, so when I compare the x, the y vectors, I will get 6h equals to 2k. And when I compare the x vectors, negative 6h equals to negative 10 plus 10k. Okay, then I can get the value of h and k, which is 5 over 18 and 5 over 6. Okay. And same advice as I gave you all the last time. Okay. Try to do this question a lot. This comparing vectors, because it always seems to be a very popular question. Okay, especially in the paper 2. Okay. All right. If AK is extended to a point N such that AN equals to SAK, AN equals to SAK, okay, which means that AN over AK equals to S over 1. Okay, so AK dipanjangkan. Okay, so let's say this one, kena panjang sampai N is somewhere here lah. Okay, so AN is S and AK is 1. So this is S minus 1. Okay, S minus 1 over here. Such that S and ON equals to 10y. So ON is here. Okay, this is 10y. Okay, find the value of S. Okay, so we can get, okay, wait, we can get AN equals to AO plus ON. Okay, and we know that AN is SAK. Okay, so we can write SAK equals to, okay, AO is negative 10x, okay, plus ON sudah diberi 10y. Okay, so the same thing again, comparing the x and the y vector. Okay, we already have AK, which is 6y minus 6x, so we can substitute it in here. Then the same thing, you compare the x and the y vector, and you should get the same answer, which is s equals to 5 over 3. So this question, they are asking you to do the same thing twice, except that one, dia sudah bagi dia equation. The second one is you have to, kind of extend the line and see the gambar aja, okay, to see how this whole thing looks like. Sorry, actually, this, yeah, S minus 1, but this is unnecessary, sudah. Okay, so yeah, this is a good question actually. It will be worth trying. Okay, I would suggest that you try this. Okay, question number 10. Sketch the graph of fx equals to 3 sine 2x plus 1 from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so sine graph, since this is sine 2x, so 0 to 2 pi is 2 cycles, 1, 2. Okay, this is 2 pi. So halfway is pi, halfway of this is 3 over 2 pi, and halfway is pi over 2. And then the biggest number is 3. So this is 3 and negative 3, but there is a plus 1. So plus 1 means the graph naik ke atas kan? Okay, so instead of starting at 0, it starts at 1. And instead of the highest is 3, the highest now is 4. And the lowest now is 2. Okay, so you want to have, it is a good idea for you to draw the rujukan so that you don't mix it up. So 1, 2, something like this. Okay, x. So over here is 2 pi, over here is 3 over 2 pi. Here, okay, this is pi, and over here is pi over 2. Okay, be careful of where the points are. This is the end of half a cycle. This is the second half of the cycle, the third half, and the fourth half. Okay, so that you know where to put the pi over 2 pi, 3 over 2 pi, and 2 pi. Okay, hence, by using the same axis, draw a suitable straight line for, okay, so pi 3 sine 2x plus 2 equals to 2x. What we can do is, we can split the plus 2 into, because Our original is 3 sine 2x plus 1. So I can pi, okay, 3 sine 2x plus 1 equals to 2x. Why do I want to do this? So that I can substitute this whole thing equals to y. Okay, so pi y plus 1 equals to 2x. So y equals to 2x over pi minus 1. Okay, so this requires a little bit of skill. Okay, y equals to 2x over pi minus 1. Okay, so when we do this one, okay, so we take the smallest one, x equals to 0 and x equals to 2 pi. So when x equals to 0, y equals to negative 1. Okay, and when x equals to 2 pi, y equals to 2 pi, 4 pi over pi, 4 minus 1, 3. Okay, so negative 1 is somewhere here. Okay, and 3 is somewhere here. Okay. Okay, so 3 is here, negative 1 is here. So when I draw the straight line, I will get 1, 2, 3 solutions. Okay, this question is asking for number of solutions. Okay, so the number of solutions equals to 3. That's it. Okay, wow, it's raining. Okay, solve the equation 2 cos squared x minus secant squared x plus. Okay, do I have enough space for this? Can I? 2 cos squared x minus secant squared x plus tangent squared x equals to 3 over 4. Okay, equals to 3 over 4. Now, when you see this, the first thing you need to notice is that secant and tangent are actually connected by the identity, and this is given in the front of the formula, okay, which is this lah. Secant squared x equals to 1 plus tangent squared x. Now, since the question has a minus secant plus tangent, so I should move this across and this one here lah. So negative 1 equals to minus secant squared a plus tangent squared a. So that dia bulat-bulat nampak macam ni. So I know that I can substitute this as 2 cos squared x minus 1 equals to 3 over 4. Okay, you kind of want to avoid this mistake of forgetting the minus lah. Okay, so since this is a squared, then you definitely know that you have to do quadratic equations. So 2 cos squared x minus 7 over 4 equals to 0. So when you do an EQN, 2, 0, and minus 7 over 4. Okay, so you get x equals to 0.9354 and x equals to negative 0.9354. Okay, you get 2 values of x lah. Okay, 2 values of x means you will get 4 values of cos x, cos x equals to 0.9354. So 2 values. Okay, cos x equals to 0.9354. Cos positive is quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. Okay, and then the second one is cos x equals to negative 0.9354. This is quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. So you get 4 answers altogether, which are this. Okay, 20.71, 159.29, 200.71, and 339.29. Okay, but this is a very common way of answering this question lah. Okay, make sure you do quadratic equation. Okay, and then after that solve. Okay, or EQN sajalah. Okay, because the factorization is not so important in here. The important thing is you know how to do from here to here. Okay, to get both the values of cos x. Then from the cos x, you get the 2 values of the angles each. Okay, in order to get 4 angles. Okay, it's a pretty common question. Okay, so again, the answer is this: 20.71, 159.29, 200.71, and then 339.29 degrees. All right, question 11. Survey shows that the expenditure of customers at Pasaran Mewah is normally distributed as shown below. The only thing different about this graph is that it does not start from 0, which is the normalized, the standard piawayan. Okay, but instead they give you a graph that is like this. Now the important thing is that the highest point of the graph, this is the mean. Okay, this is the mean. And now it comes down to us to find the standard deviation. So now what you know is that if you know the mean, actually you can find the standard deviation, especially if you have the probability. And they give you this is 26.11, means the probability of x is more than 298 is equals to 0.2611. Okay, 0.2611, and you know that it is a positive value. So when you use the table, look for the probability 0.2611, you will get the Z score is 0.64. Okay, then you use the formula Z equals to x minus mu over sigma. My Z is 0.64. X is 298. Minus the mean is 250 over sigma. So I should be able to get the answer sigma equals to, or the standard deviation, okay, equals to 75. Okay, so this is a very interesting question because we are so used to, they give you this one, they don't even draw the graph for you, right? Ini dia bagi kamu the graph and they want you to understand that the middle value is the mean. So actually this is really 1 mark. Okay, if you understand how the normal distribution graph works, then you know that the center value is the mean. When it is not standardized lah. Kalau dia sudah standardized, macam ni kan, the center value is 0 bahkan. That one is kalau dia sudah kena normal kan, when it is already standardized. Okay, standard normal distribution graph, right? SNDT, sorry, SND, what is T? The standard normal distribution lah. Okay, kena kasih kosong sudah. But in actual fact, there are many different values of means. And in this case, the mean is 250. Okay. Now, if 80 customers are chosen at random, find the number of customers who spend between 200 and 265. Okay, so this one is the easy one. They give you the two values of x. So if you use the table, x, z, and then the graph, okay, and then the probability. So the x values will be 200 and 265. Convert it to z, okay, you will get something like this, two values over here like this. Okay, so you will get the probability about 0.3270. Okay, you do all this work over here, transfer over here, then use the table, you will get 0.3270. Question is not asking for probability, question is asking for the number of customers. So the number of customers is the probability times the total number of customers. Okay, so the number of customers, okay, is 0.3270 times 80. And you should be able to get about 26 lah. Okay, 26 people. Probably you will get 26 point something lah. Okay, so don't round it off to 27 lah. Okay, round it off to 26 because tidak cukup orang ke 27. Okay, and then of course, if there is from left to right of the table, and there will always be a question from the right to the left. Given 12%, okay, spend more than RMQ. So this is yang dari kanan ke kiri. 12% means your probability is now 0.12. Okay, so 0.12 and 0.12 is less than 0.5. And the question is asking for more, so less than 0.5 and more, so your Z value will be a positive number. So you get Z equals to 1.175, you convert it back using the same mean and the standard deviation that you calculated in A1. Okay, so you get the answer of about 338 ringgit. Okay, so the interesting thing about this question is that there is no binomial distribution altogether. It's fully normal distribution. Okay, that's why the first part there, they ask you to find the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, so it's a this is not a very commonly asked question. Okay, but it may help. If you notice that paper 1 ada banyak soalan binomial distribution, then you will think that, oh, maybe paper 2 they will focus on normal distribution. It has happened before. Okay, previous years, paper 1 semua soalan normal distribution saja yang keluar. And then paper 2 only binomial distribution. Has happened before. Usually it's the same lah. One question binomial, one question normal in paper 1, and then half a question binomial and half a question normal in paper 2. But it has happened before. Paper 1 dia bagi semua soalan taburan normal saja, only normal distribution, and then in paper 2 they ask everything binomial. That like nobody even, there's no question on normal distribution. Has happened before. In this case, this is a fully normal distribution graph. So you don't see any binomial. We didn't even do the NCR, P to the power R, Q to the power N minus R. We didn't even do this formula. Okay, that's binomial distribution. Okay, it can happen. Okay, so always be prepared for any contingencies. But it will help lah. Okay, you look at paper 1 and see, oh, macam paper 1 kan dia agak balanced. Most likely paper 2 will be balanced lah. Okay, if you find that paper 1 is very heavy on binomial lah, then be prepared lah. Paper 2 will probably be very heavy for normal. Jarang berlaku tapi pernah berlaku. Okay, so okay, be ready for it. Last two questions and then we're done. Okay, table 2 shows the price index and weightage for 5 items used in making a biscuit. Okay, this is a very simple, I would say lah. Okay, it's quite a simple index question. Okay, find the values of X, Y, and Z. I think this one is very standard formula, Q1 over Q0 times 100 lah. Okay, depending on the price or depending if they want you to find the price index or they want you to find the price. Okay, make sure you substitute it in the correct place lah. Okay, jangan juga kamu silap. Okay, so the answers for X, Y, and Z are given over there. Then you calculate the composite index by using the weightage. Okay, so the total weightage should be, I think it will be 100 lah kan, 27 plus 20, 18, 10. Astaga, sorry. Okay, 80, sorry. The total weightage is 80. Okay, so just use the price index times with the weightage and everything over 80, then you get about 132.125. Okay, but the good thing about this question is, the not so good thing about this question is that if your B is wrong, your C and your D will also be wrong. So it's a very dangerous question. You make sure that your composite index you calculate correctly. Okay, so 132.125. Now the total expenditure of the items is 18,000 in 2019. Calculate the corresponding expenditure. So you want to use the composite index lah. So 132.125 equals to 18,000 over the price in 2016 times 100. Okay, so you get the price is about 13623.46 lah. Okay, $13,623 ringgit and 46 cents. Okay, so again the same pattern. Calculate normal, calculate the price, the composite index. Use the composite index again to find a new price or the total price. Okay, not individual price. This is individual price. Now you want to find total price. Always very common. Okay, and then lastly, the price of each item increases by 15%. Now, this is a trick question actually. If you notice, it's only two questions. We need to understand that if the price of each item increases the same amount, so the composite index will also increase 15%. Okay, if it is based on the same year. So all you have to do is just take the 132.125, okay, and then you include the 15% from it. Okay, include the 15% from it, and you will get 151.94. Okay, so obviously the first thing you need to do is count the 15% first lah. Okay, so 15 over 100 times 132.125. Then you add together the 132.125 and you should be able to get 151.94. Now, this is a very special case. We can only do this if the question say every item increase the same percentage. Then the composite index also will increase the same percentage. A normal question, normal question will say, oh, A, C, and E. Only A, C, and E will increase. B and D dia punya harga adalah sama. Okay, dia tidak naik atau dia tidak turun. That one is a different situation. That one you will have to calculate again the price index and you redo the composite index calculation. But that one is definitely more than 2 marks punya question. Okay, so this is a 2-mark question. So take note of this. If it is a 2-mark question, most likely the working is not very difficult. It is not like, wow, saya kena kira semua balik. No. Okay, so we need to understand that if the price of every item increase the same amount, so the composite index also will increase the same amount. Okay, but this is a very, it's a very rare question lah. Okay, jarang saya lihat ini kalau semua barang naik pada the same percentage. Usually is one or two things akan naik and then one akan turun and then after that ada yang tidak berubah. Itu yang biasa. But that one is definitely more than 2 marks punya question. That one will be 3 or 4 marks punya question. Because you have to recalculate the composite index again. Okay, so be very careful with this. All right, last question. Okay, last question for the last paper. Okay, and then lepas sudah kita fikir. Okay, quadrilateral PQRS. Okay, calculate PQR. Calculate this angle. Okay, I think you can use the sine rule. Quite easy lah, because you have 30 and 6, 10 and this one lah. So no problem. Okay, then after that, you get this one is about 56.44. Okay, and then you find PSR, which is here. Okay, so you have the 3 sides. So obviously you want to use the cos rule lah. Okay, use the cos rule and you should be able to get this one because I'm giving you the 3 sides. Okay, and then find the area of the whole quadrilateral. So the whole quadrilateral is made up of two triangles. So you want to count the area of one triangle and then the area of the other triangle, then you add them together. Okay, so this is pretty easy lah. 6 marks means 2 to 2 lah. Everyone is 2 marks. One mark for the correct answer and then 1 mark for the correct working. Okay, second question. Point Q lies on point PQ such that Q prime R equals to QR. Okay, so let me rub this off. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so QR is equals to QR. So that means we want to move this point here so that this QR equals to the other Q prime R. So whenever there's an equals, we know that it's an isosceles triangle. The only question is, ini garis ini bahkan kita mau jalan pergi sini atau jalan pergi sini. Okay, so kalau jalan pergi sini, then it will extend like this and you will get this lah. Okay, Q prime is here. But that's not the situation because the question say, what did the question say? The question say lies on PQ. Okay, that means I want to go along PQ, so I will get this, something like this lah. So this is 6 cm, this is Q prime. Okay, now I get this question a lot. How do I redraw this sketch? Okay, so my idea is always this. You draw the original triangle first. Okay, which is, so the original, so you know that this is kind of what you want lah. Okay, this is kind of what you want. Okay, which is I'm going to rub off now. Okay, so you draw the original PQR triangle first. Okay, doesn't have to be to scale. Doesn't have to be, oh, ini mesti 6, ini mesti 10. Tak payah lah. We just roughly draw. Okay, so if I draw the original PQR, okay, I'll get something like this. This, and then like this. Wow, okay. So this is P, this is Q, this is R. Okay, and then I know that the new triangle that I want is QR, is this over here, right? Like this. Okay, so this is Q prime. Okay, and so what I do with this is the one yang diorang minta P, Q prime and R. So P, Q prime and R, ini yang saya lukis betul-betul. So I will draw this in black color like this lah. Okay, and I will put the values in lah. Okay, so 30 and 10 and 6. So this is 30 degrees. This is 10 cm and this is 6 cm. Okay, and then yang ini, the one in red, I will make it a dotted line. Okay, to show the original triangle and the new triangle. Okay, why? Okay, why is this important? Because you will probably need the information from the original triangle in the new triangle. Okay, so in the original triangle, we calculated that this is 56.44. So since this is an isosceles triangle, 6 cm, 6 cm, so here is 56.44. Therefore, the angle of PQ prime and R is 180 minus 56.44. Okay, ini the one in green lah. Okay, you don't have to show it on the drawing. I'm just showing it to you because now we're drawing it, right? But tadi yang saya lukis yang warna merah, yang dotted line warna merah dan yang warna biru itu kan, itu yang harus kamu lukis untuk sketch the graph. Okay, and the most basic information you put in lah. You don't have to put in the angle if you don't want to. Okay, so 180 minus 56.44. So this angle is 123.56 degrees. Okay, and it will probably be useful for us lah. 123.56 degrees. Okay, let's see whether it's useful. So calculate the length of PQ prime, which is this one. Okay, so well, I guess if we want to do this, we will have to find this angle. Okay, so PRQ prime is equals to 180 minus 30 minus 123.56. Okay, so this will give us sorry, this will give us 26.44 degrees. And then I can use the sine rule lah. Okay, so Q prime R over sine 26.44 equals to 6 over the sine 30. Paling senang lah. Okay, saya guna 6 and sine 30 over here. Okay, so I will get the answer QR equals to 5.34 cm. Okay, so in terms of sketching the graph, usually what I would do is I would draw the original triangle and then I would draw the new triangle, and then whatever that is not the new triangle, I will make it dotted line. Okay, so I garis, I make it dotted line so that I can still see the original triangle and the new triangle, because most likely the information from the original triangle, you will still need it for the new triangle. So I always put it in there to help me to see. Okay, but of course the examiner will only see this part lah. Ini saja yang dia akan tengok lah. They just want to see that you have the angles and the sides correct, and the shape of the triangle is just agak-agak only. It doesn't have to be rocket science like so super detailed and correct lah. No lah, doesn't have to sketch sahaja. Bukan dia suruh kamu draw, dia suruh kamu sketch. Okay, so as long as you can see the shape and it is definitely not the same as the original triangle, you should be fine lah. Okay, but the details need to be there so that it helps you. Okay, so that's it for our discussion of the AdMaths papers. Okay.